Hey guys, it's Freddie here from Draft Nights. Have you ever wanted to start your own podcast? If so, Anchor is the easiest way to do so. Let me explain. First of all, it's free. There's a creation tool that allows you to record and edit your podcast either on your phone or your computer. Anchor allows you to distribute your podcast all over social media, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. You can make money off your podcast with no minimum listenership. So it has everything you need to get started. If you want to join the podcast family, all you have to do is download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. See you soon. And boom, baby. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Draft Nights. It's your boy, Freddie. Thank you for tuning in. We have a great show for you coming up today. We're going to talk about a little bit about the NBA, Lebron's criticism, and Zion. We're also going to talk about the things that Skip Bayless is talking about on his show on Fox, Undisputed, and what he thinks could Zion be thinking when the Lakers went up against the Pelicans not too long ago, and that whole thing. We're also going to talk about James Harden and the Giannis beef and see whose side are you on. Are you on Team Harden's side or Team Giannis' side? You decide. We're going to get into a little bit of the NFL news. We're going to be listening to a little bit of the Pat McAfee show. He has a great podcast. He also has a great show on ESPN. And he's really funny, and I really like his content and everything like that. We're also going to be talking about Joe Burrow and him really not wanting to go to the Bengals. And who could blame him, man? We're also going to talk about what Carlson Palmer said about Cincinnati and the time that he's been there. And then we're going to talk about the Cowboys franchise tagging Dak Prescott. And all that situation going on about that, and we're gonna hear about the whole situation with ESPN's show, The Get Up with Greeny, and he has some co-hosts with him to talk about that Prescott situation. So first things first, we're gonna talk about LeBron's criticism, getting criticism for being too friendly with opponents. I mean, I think this is ridiculous. LeBron is the best player in the NBA. Just my opinion, right? I know you got Giannis. I know you got you have the Claw. You have James Harden. You have Anthony Davis. And all these different people, but when it comes to, if you're a veteran at any point in time of your life, if you're working at a job and you've been there for so long, so many years, and you have a new guy just come up, he's trying to learn the ropes, he's navigating his whole way through, and it's a new experience for him. I'm sorry, guys, I am dealing with allergies right now. Spring is coming, so you already know it's allergy season. Dude, I never had to deal with allergies until my 30s, man. I'm 30 years old now, and this is the first time I'm ever dealing with having allergies. So please bear with me. But yeah, as I was saying, if you're a veteran at any point in your life, sometimes it's incumbent to you to look out for the new guys, and especially if you're in like some type of union or some type of brotherhood type of thing, especially with sports, you always want to look out for the newer guys, the guys that's coming up behind you and everything like that. I mean, I remember when I was playing basketball and I was in the 8th grade, and about to transition to go into high school, to go to the ninth grade. And when I was in elementary school or middle school, I was in the 8th grade playing basketball, and I would, I would play alongside the 7th graders and also 6th graders that was on the team. And I would have to show them by example, how to play, how to show up to practice, how to work hard in practice. I was co-captain of my basketball team in middle school, so my coach really emphasized how important it is to be a good example for the younger guys behind me, because they're the next guys coming up. Once I leave elementary school or middle school and go to high school, they're the ones who are going to take over, and they're the ones who are going to go for it the following year. So if they see that the veterans or the older guys that are older and much experienced than they are doing certain things, they would remember those things and try to replicate it, because we want to install good habits, and we want to show them the good example of how to be a veteran, how to treat others, and X, Y, and Z, right? And how to play ball, and how to practice. So we're gonna get into a little bit of Skip Bayless's response to LeBron getting criticized, and pretty much LeBron saying, "Hey, if you have a problem with me, how I deal with younger players, or how I deal with other players, pretty much you kiss my butt," right? So let's see what Skip Bayless has to say. Hope you can hear it.
Good way. You want to go? Go ahead. I would hear everything you said if Zion had sought counsel from the king, but he did not. And that's the bottom line to what happened last night, and why I thought LeBron twice was out of line right after the game, and then what he said there. Because this was about a Zion who's becoming a star right before your very eyes. He's putting up historical numbers in historical ways. And to me, LeBron can't stand it when somebody else becomes the story in the NBA, and he's always trying to insinuate.
What is he talking about? LeBron can't stand it when somebody else is the star in them. The dude's been in the league for like 17 years. Has he always won MVP? No. That never bothered. I don't understand where Skip gets this from. Where does he get this from that it bothers him that somebody takes it? What are you talking about? LeBron won the game. He had a triple-double. What are you talking about? Where are you getting this from? It makes no sense.
Insinuate himself into that life, and this life of this kid I admired greatly, because he made it clear from the start. Oh, I respect LeBron. He's this and he's that, and I'm going to say every right thing about him, but I don't need him to be my big brother. I'm good, because deep down, this kid really believes in what he is, what God gave him, whatever, however you want to describe it. He has abilities that nobody has. Even LeBron said after the game last night to Dave McMenamin, nobody jumps quicker than he does. Nobody can jump off 2 feet quicker. Nobody can spring back for a second and third jump.
Shot, he done got the rebound. The other guy didn't jump yet.
And he doesn't have good hands. He has great hands. He has left and he's ambidextrous, so we see it all. And you're just seeing the tip of the iceberg right now. And he's made it clear, I don't need a big brother. I'm not going to kiss up to LeBron or suck up to LeBron, and I don't need to be part of the Clutch Sports family. And let's be clear about this. There's some monetary motivation here on LeBron's part. I think much of it is the goodness of his heart, because he wants to be the whole league's big brother. But remember what happened on February 9th of last basketball season. LeBron went way out of his way with Rich Paul. I don't know if they drove or flew, maybe they helicoptered 250 miles from Philadelphia to Charlottesville, Virginia, to sit courtside and watch Duke at Virginia, just so they could announce their presence, like, we are interested in you, Zion.
Why couldn't it just be that LeBron wanted to see Zion play? Why couldn't it just be that? You know, why it has to be some monetary reason? You know, obviously LeBron has Clutch Sports and everything like that, but that's Rich Paul's area. That's Rich Paul's job to run that. It's not LeBron's obligation or LeBron's job. LeBron's job is to play basketball to the best of his ability and have his friends run every other organization outside of that. That's it. LeBron's job is to expand his brand. That's it. Why couldn't it just be that he wanted to see Zion play? Why? I don't know why Skip Reach is so hard when I really don't get it.
Clearly, it wouldn't be. Everybody was. And I don't blame him for doing that, but that's a powerful presence of LeBron sitting right there he's like 50-yard line.
Barack Obama went to see Zion play, man. Come on. Come on, Skip. Oh, man, yo. You're reaching, man.
Line front row.
What's the bigger presence than the 44th president of the United States, the first African American president of the United States, coming to see you play basketball? What's more bigger than that? LeBron is more bigger than... Come on, please, man.
Saying, we're here for you, young man. I want to see what you got. And he didn't choose Clutch. He chose CAA. And then he made it clear, arm's length. I'm good. I don't need this. And after the first meeting between Zion and LeBron last week, it felt like it knocked LeBron a little off balance that the kid is saying, I've never even talked to him. And he's doing so matter-of-factly, and he wasn't doing it in the vein of, gee, I wish we'd bump into each other in the hallway. He was just saying, I'm good. And so last night, when the game ended, they intermingled, had sort of a receiving line because so many Lakers are Pelicans and vice versa. and all of a sudden, LeBron goes out of his way, to my eye, and went over to Zion. And Zion wasn't looking for it, but he's not going to rebuff. He accepted it. He didn't say a word back. He just nodded his head. And LeBron felt like it's his place to pass down some wisdom. And I have no idea what he said. I assume it's what he told Lonzo. Just keep your head down and don't pay attention to the noise. You know,
It probably said if you need anything.
yeah, if you need anything, if there's any noise back and forth about you versus me, don't just shake it off.
Right.
It's no big deal to me. That kind of thing. And I thought, you know, I thought that was out of line because I don't think Zion was seeking that. It's like, leave it be.
Yo. You don't think Zion was seeking that? Skip. I mean, yo. Oh, God. The guys. Man, is LeBron James, man. It's LeBron James, man. The king, the GOAT, whatever you want to call him. Any young person, any basketball player. It's like, LeBron is just looking out for you, man. That's all LeBron's doing. LeBron sees you, he sees how you play and everything like that. First time he sees you, he doesn't, do much to, make his presence known. Not even make his presence known, to acknowledge you. That's what I want to say. To acknowledge him. So now you're complaining when he does acknowledge him. I mean, it's like a no-win situation here, man. It really isn't like a no-win situation where, like, if he... LeBron can't acknowledge him, LeBron can't acknowledge him. Like, what? What is it, man? I don't get it, man. I really don't get it. Dude is LeBron James. Okay? Zion knows who LeBron James is. They played against each other twice already.
Hey, LeBron, he's good without you. You don't have to jump into his story. And LeBron played great last.
Jump into his story. The guy. How you gonna jump into his story? We went against each other. I played better than him. I'm letting him know that even though you're the new kid on the block, I'm still king. Right? I'm showing you. LeBron did was, I'm showing you. Listen, you're here, okay? But I'm still above you, baby. I'm still above you, kiddo. You know what I'm saying? This is how a GOAT, this is how a champion, this is how a master works. You know what I'm saying? You just got in the game. Let me show you how a master plays. Let me show you how the next level you got to get to. You know what I'm saying? That's what LeBron did. He's showing them what the next level is in order to reach LeBron. A level that Zion hasn't gotten to just yet. He's on his way, but he's not there yet.
Last night because he needed to play great. He wanted to play great.
Man, if LeBron walks by and LeBron showing the kid up,
Well, that's the thing.
LeBron can't win in this
Okay,
situation.
well, you can go
Shannon Sharp.
just give a quick hug. You don't have to cover your mouth with a towel.
Yeah, because you know people.
Oh my God. He doesn't have to cover his mouth with a towel. LeBron can do whatever he wants, Skip. If he doesn't want you to know what he's telling Zion, he doesn't need to let you know what he's saying to Zion. Okay? Keep that to himself. Everybody needs to know everything. Kyrie did the same thing when he was talking to Kevin Durant before they went to the Nets. Come on, man. It's ridiculous. Now, I want to go and tell you guys about what Zion... He had an interview when he was in college, when he was playing for Duke. And this is what he said in the interview. Zion.
Know about you that they don't know right now.
All right, man, whatever.
What do you want people to know about you that they don't know right now?
I'm a nice guy. Like, you can approach me and just have a regular conversation with me. I'm not gonna like turn you away unless I have to get to practice or something. Like, I'm a welcoming person. If you want to talk to me, you can come talk to me.
What do you like to do?
He said that in college. He's a really nice dude. If you want to talk to him, he's not going to brush you off or anything. If you want to talk to him, he's going to talk to you back. He's a very social kid. It's not that it's not that he didn't want to talk to LeBron or he wanted his space from LeBron. No, it's not that. He's a pretty chill freaking kid. He's a pretty super chill dude. He doesn't want to let the fame and the money and all this other stuff get in his head. He just wanted to be treated like a normal dude. It's what he said in college. And that's how he's acting now with LeBron and all these other players. I think JaVale McGee told him or asked him to give him his jersey. And Zion did. Did McGee give him his jersey? Because they do these jersey swaps all the time. No. I guess Zion didn't ask for his. But JaVale McGee got Zion's jersey. He just gave it to him. Zion's just a chill freaking dude. I don't get it, yo. Zion could learn a lot from LeBron, man. And off the court. I don't get it, man. I really don't understand. Skip could say some weird, crazy things, man. And I don't get it, bro. Like, where does these things come from? I just have no idea, man. Where he gets these ideas. It's ridiculous. Alright, so on to the next topic. The James Harden and Giannis beef. Now, this all started because during the All-Star game, we had the two captains. We had two captains. LeBron was the West captain, and Giannis was the East captain. And they got to pick their own teams. And Giannis was quoted as saying that he doesn't want to pick James Harden because he feels as though James Harden doesn't pass the ball.
Vince on to the NBA's.
This is coming from the show First Things First with Nick Wright and Jenna.
Newest feud. James Harden and Giannis Antetokounmpo, unconventional rivals in a war of words, sort of, all stemming from the All-Star draft when Giannis said he wanted somebody that's going to pass the ball. In other words, not Harden. Well, Harden sat down with Rachel Nichols recently, and she asked him what he thought of Giannis's comment.
I don't see what the choke is, but I didn't even see it. I don't pay attention to stuff like that. I just know none of them can mess with me. When it's all said and done, they'll appreciate it more. But I wish I could just run with 7 feet and run and just dunk. Like, that takes no skill at all. I gotta actually learn how to play basketball and how to have skill. I take that any day.
So, also in this interview, Harden talked about how he ranks top 10 in assists. So, when Giannis said about James Harden not passing the ball, now is not really true when it comes to the numbers. Now, this sparked a huge debate, right? Who's right? Is Giannis right, or is James Harden right? Me personally, do I like James Harden game? I'm like split 50-50. I'm not gonna lie. I'm split 50-50, man. Because we all complain about James Harden's lack of defense, right? Just be honest. Just being honest. And then we also talk about his how do you say it? His consistency of just keeping the ball and just bouncing it to the ball just flattens out so many times. So let's see the numbers, right? When we compare Giannis to James Harden. So when it comes to rebounds, Giannis is averaging this season per game 13.8 rebounds per game, as opposed to James Harden 6.4 rebounds a game. Now, could that deal with height? Absolutely. So I don't know how much of an advantage you want to say someone's height is when it comes to, rebounds. Like, how many points do you give for being able to rebound the ball to someone? You know what I'm saying? That's the real question. Now, when it comes to assists, James Harden got him here. Giannis is only averaging 5.8 assists a game. James Harden, 7.3. So James Harden is getting more, making more assists than Giannis in this case. So that means Giannis is actually hogging the ball more than James Harden is. And we look at, steals. Giannis averages 1 steal a game. James Harden averages 1.7 steals a game. James Harden got that too. So a little bit on the defense, James Harden's looking like he got the edge on him that way. Now when it comes to blocks, you would think a 7-footer would get more blocks than, James Harden, who isn't 7 feet. Giannis gets 1.1 blocks per game. James Harden gets 0.9. That means he's only 2 percentage points away from tying Giannis. And then points per game, James Harden got him here too. James Harden is averaging 34.9 points per game. Giannis is averaging 29.9. So, when it comes to these two guys for comparison, Giannis edges out James Harden only in rebounds and blocks per game. But James Harden got the edge on assists, steals, and points. Now, when it comes to points, does it matter that Giannis is playing 6 minutes less than James Harden? Does that, does that push the edge more to Giannis than James Harden for playing 6 minutes less, still averaging around 29.9, while James Harden is averaging 34.9. So let's say it's about 5 points difference. 5-point difference. 29 and 34 is 5 points difference. So that means a 3 and a layup, or two layups and maybe an and one, right? On one of them. But let's see something, right? So when it comes to field goals, right? Field goals average, Giannis is at 19.9. James Harden 23. He's averaging 23 shots per game. Field goals attempted, Giannis 19 field goals attempted. Field goals made though, Giannis is 11.1. James Harden is 10.1. Now, the main difference here though is the 3-pointers. Giannis doesn't shoot that many threes. Giannis shoots 4.7 threes per game. James Harden is 12.8. See that? But he only makes 4.6 of them. Giannis makes 1.5 of them. So on average, Giannis 3-pointers is 31.6. James Harden 36. And then free throws. They get to the line almost exactly the same, but James James Harden shoots better free throws than Giannis. So if we're looking at it statistically, James Harden should be MVP, not Giannis. But then again, Giannis' team has a better record than James Harden's team. So because of that too, I think Giannis is gonna get this MVP because they just have a better team. Let's see. Yeah. It's a better record right now. Points in the game, Houston Rockets. Most points in the game is Houston Rockets. Wow. Most rebounds in the game, Sacramento with 67. Assists in the game, 43, Philadelphia. Alright. 3-pointers. Minnesota made most 3-pointers in the game, 26. So yeah. But whose team are you on? Are you on Team Giannis or Team Harden? You choose. Me? I mean, being able to shoot is good and all. Right now, the Bucks are 52-9. Wow. The Houston Rockets are 39-21. So, Giannis' team is winning way more games. So, in general, the Bucks are at number 1, while the Houston Rockets are at number 7. So, how much did that factor in to who should win the MVP, or who's making the most argument or the best argument? It's up to you to decide. Right? Alright, we're moving on to the next topic. We're going to move on to the NFL. Alright, so according to the Pat McAfee show, great guy, the players in the NFL might go on strike.
Potentially going to happen. They've been saving up money. Sounds like a strike is potential. Like a strike is potentially going to happen. They've been saving up money. It's called a war chest, I believe, is what they call it. They've been collecting money from every single player that played in the NFL for long time. They just take money right out of my account, and I'm lucky to be a member. And I always said, where the hell is this money going? And they're like, war chest, man. It's going to the war chest. I'm like, what the hell does that mean? They're like, if a work stoppage happens, this money will pay out the players, and also we have to afford the lawyers that are negotiating for us. I was like, well, aren't the lawyers working for the NFLPA? They shouldn't be paid by the freaking hour. It should be a salary. And I obviously was outvoted. That's why I did not become an NFLPA member. But this war chest is one that's big. They said $250,000 for every single player if a strike happens. I don't know how long that's going to last for some guys. I hope it lasts a long time. They can be in a good spot. But these billionaires will just sit back and wait for that well and war chest to run dry, and then they're back in a good spot. Lorenzo Alexander alluded to it. If the players don't take this deal and they decide to go to war and strike, they could potentially end up with a much worse deal when everybody's in a bad spot. I'll be excited to see how this all plays out. Now, am I correct in saying this?
Yeah, like, guys, how many times must we say this? All these NFL owners, which is only 32 of them, or I'm going to say 30, 31, because Green Bay doesn't have an owner. So, they're all billionaires. They make money outside. They make $1 billion outside of the NFL. The NFLPA does not make, and no player in the NFL makes $1 billion. And the NFLPA together combined doesn't even make $1 billion. I mean, the NFL is this toy, this plaything to these owners. When is that gonna get in your head that these guys, they don't care about certain things that NFL players care about. They only care about their money, and that's it. If it makes dollars, it makes sense, and they'll do it. They'll do it. If it makes money, if it doesn't make money for them, they're not for it. You always gotta go into these negotiations and into these type of things with, all right, whatever we want, what are we willing to give up? Because they want money. They want to make money at the end of the day. At the end of the day, they're going to want something. And preferably, it's more money. That's what the NFL wants. They want to add an extra game. We're fine with 16 games, man. What's with this 17? What this 17 is gonna do? Makes no sense. Makes no sense, man. I don't get it. Why not 2 more? Why not 2 more games? Make it 18, so that it's even numbers. And now, I really don't get it. I really don't get it, man. But you know, these players focus on marijuana. They focus on shit that oh my god. They focus on shit that NFL owners are looking at them like, what? That's what you focus on? Not, you don't want this money. You don't want this money, you just want to let us take this money. Bugging. I don't understand this. I really don't understand it. They should have been like, listen, I want 50-50, and this should really end the salary cap, man. Just be like just be like the MLB baseball. No salary cap, man. That way, no player can complain about being broke or X, Y, and Z. Now teams can pay you whatever you're offering, whatever they want to pay you, and go from there. That's how I see it, man. It's just ridiculous. It really, really is. Now, we're talking about the NFL Combine and how Joe Burrow seems to not want to go to the Bengals. I mean, who would want to go to the Bengals? And we're going to talk about why when we hear from Carson Palmer. So check this out.
Patrick Mahomes is a guy.
This is the Pat McAfee show again. He's what's it called? Rich Eisen.
That you just talked about, somebody, maybe a quarterback slipping to 10 or something like that, just like that. If you look at the top of this draft class, Joe Burrow, people now are talking about the number 2 pick with the Washington Redskins. They should think about taking Tua, even though they drafted Dwayne Haskins last year, and they got Chase Young sitting there, a potential generational talent.
Right. There
feels like there's a lot of potential moves in his top 5 to happen. I mean, Joe Burrow had to answer questions on whether or not he would play in Cincinnati.
Well, he brought that on himself.
Okay.
I mean,
he talked about the leverage part of it.
And Jordan Palmer, Carson Palmer's brother's training him. I mean,
let's take
1 second. If the Redskins, instead of drafting Chase Young, draft Tua, or Joe Burrow, whichever one Cincinnati, decides on picking up. What the hell? They just drafted Dwayne Haskins last year. So what you gonna do with Dwayne Haskins if you pick up Tua or Joe Burrow? If you pick up another quarterback, why would you do that? Are you gonna train Dwayne Haskins? To who? Who's gonna want him after you just gave up on him? And then how he's gonna feel? Because you're not gonna get any value for him. You're really not. Like, why would anyone pick him up? Why would anyone give you anything for him? Makes no sense. They're gonna want Tua or something. The last year's draft pick, high draft pick, you guys choose and you guys don't even want him now, and you think I'm gonna want him? Why would I want him if you don't even want him? You just got him and you don't even want him. What's wrong with this dude right here? What's wrong? Why would I pick him up? That shit just makes no sense to pick up a Tua or Joe Burrow or a quarterback at all for the Redskins if you already drafted Dwayne Haskins. Doesn't make no sense. Pick up Chase Young. I mean, that's all you. It's just the most craziest thing I ever heard in my life.
Just one by one here. The leverage part of it. You're slotted. You know how much money you're going to make. You know how long the contract's going to
This is Rich Eisen, by the way.
be. The only word leverage comes into play is if you exact it to try and not go there.
Oh, yeah.
So if you drop leverage, we all get it. We all understand what you're saying. The other thing too is that when asked about it, he goes, "If they take me, they take me." Now, Pat. Pat. You just got engaged, correct? Okay.
Hey, good
all
for
right.
me, brother.
Congratulations, by the
That's
way.
it.
Right?
Hey,
Right?
hey.
You just got engaged.
Hey, hold on. I just got engaged.
Hey, there's love all around
Hold
in this
on.
room, man.
Dick just got engaged.
What about you slackers in the back?
They're married to the game.
Get a date.
They're married to the game.
Okay,
They're married to each other.
The reason why I bring all this up, and everybody out there in the Pat McAfee Show listening and viewing audience, you all are getting engaged, right? Or you just got engaged. What if you heard secondhand through a friend of your fiance,
Sam.
your fiance's, okay? You found out through a friend that when it was apparent you were about to engage, to be married to this woman, her response to her friend was, "If he proposes, he proposes."
Not ideal.
That's not enthusiastic, bro. That is not enthusiastic. They're not all about it. But why would he be? Why would he be? The Bengals, they're not about winning. They're really not. They're cheap. The owner's cheap. I mean, he had a coach for like 13 years who had a super losing record, and only because the coach was cheap. It didn't cost them much to keep him. And now I'm bringing up Carson Palmer and his experience because he was the quarterback for Cincinnati for a good chunk of his career.
It's happened for a reason, and that was not our year, and that was Pittsburgh's year.
So, do you feel like the organization gave you enough support to win?
No, I mean, that's why I wanted out. Is I never felt like the organization was really trying to win a Super Bowl and really chasing a Super Bowl, because that's what today's day and age is. The game today is you can't just hope you draft well and not go after free agents and you end up in the Super Bowl. You got to go get it, and I then went and played for Michael Bidwell in Arizona, and Michael was all about winning. Everything was about winning. The culture was about winning, and we, very fortunately, the year before I got to Arizona, I think they'd won a couple games or 3 or 4 games, and Michael Bidwell dug his feet in the ground, and I saw an owner say, we're going to go after this. We're going to do what it takes to win. And at the end of the day, when owners do what it takes to win and have that type of mentality, and everybody's on board, I saw it right before my eyes. We 10 wins, 11 wins, 12 wins, whatever it was, those next 3 years. And when the organization is completely behind doing what it takes to win, then and you got the right players, then that's the recipe for a Super Bowl. When you got good players, but you're not really forcing everybody in the organization's hand to do what we can to be better, to do what we can to win a Super Bowl. That's the difference in the NFL. You look at what Bob Kraft's done. You look at the teams that have had success year in, year out. You look at what goes on in Baltimore. I mean, that team is always good. That team is doing whatever it takes. They're willing to do whatever it takes to win, and that's why they're consistently in the playoffs, regardless who the quarterback is.
You see that? And you think, do I have to even say more? And you think Joe Burrow wants to get into that? Who wants to get into that? Who wants to go into that type of organization that they're not trying to win? Come on, man. They have a bad reputation of not going after and of just doing enough to stay relevant, but at the same time not doing enough to win. That's why I'm saying that there's some owners that go after it. Others are just here to collect the paycheck. That's it. And the Bengals organization isn't an organization that's just trying to collect paychecks. Like, hey, I'm just here. The owner's like, hey, I'm just here to collect the paycheck, and I'm just, I'm gonna give you guys a paycheck just to play. That's it. Don't try too hard. Don't try too hard. Don't try to get injured. If you get injured, you're just trying too hard. That's it. That's how you should see the Bengals. They're not going anywhere because of this. Now, if I was Joe Burrow, I'd be like, listen, if y'all don't trade me, if y'all don't do something, I'm not coming to play with you guys. I'm not. I'm really not. I'll be like, yo, I'm out. I don't want this. I don't want to be with you. I'm out. Go back to college or something. I'll try to make the next team next year. I'm not doing it. Let's just go like that. Or I'll just play injured. If I have no other choice, I'll play injured the whole year. I'm like, forget this, man. My shoulder hurts. I can't play. That's it. I can't play. That's it. I'm not going to try and kill myself for you guys. I'm not doing it. Not for this organization. No. All right. Moving on to the last topic. And this is the Cowboys franchise tagging Dak Prescott. It's going to cost them $27 million a year. And now we're going to hear from ESPN's own Get Up on the situation and see what Greeny has to say. Greeny and friends. Slowing up for you guys. And here we go.
This is a big week, Greeny. In the halls of the NFL Combine, outside of hotel lobbies, the Cowboys and Dak Prescott's agent can meet. Because this has been stale for months, but there's been a reason. Because there's been no immediacy. Franchise tag deadline March 12th. They got a few weeks to hash this out. I expect things to intensify in the next few days.
Now, Dak, obviously, again, as he...
You want to know something, too? I know I've said that because Dak's asking for way too much money, in my view, that the Cowboys should franchise tag Dak, right? Franchise tag Dak Prescott and then train him, right? But here's the kicker. You can't trade a player on a franchise tag unless he signs it, right? and the player doesn't have to sign it until like the day before the NFL season starts. So that's like all the way, like, let me look it up right now. When does NFL season start? September 5th. September 5th? No. He has to sign it before preseason, right? August 6th. Okay. So August 6th. So August 5th, he has to sign this franchise tag, which means what? That means the Cowboys can't sign another quarterback unless Dak Prescott signs it before they can, you know what I'm saying, pick up anybody else. So he could be a real asshole and not sign it. He could not even an asshole. I mean, he could be a real jerk to them and be like, listen, I ain't signing this until a couple days before the season starts. So that way you can't pick up another quarterback to take my place, and then you could trade me. Oh, what a savage move. What a savage move. You could literally do that, man. But yeah, that's the situation. I think if Dak does that, wow, bro. Well, this franchise tag will, this will be, it'll give him $27 million, which isn't bad, man. I'm not going to cry over it. I'm really not going to cry over that. $27 million. He made only $4 million last year. And then, after this year, right, whatever the CBA comes out with, or whatever they agree to with the owners, the salary cap's gonna rise, and they're gonna be able to make more money. So I mean, if I was Dak, I'd be like, listen, I'll take the $27 million. I'll better myself again, because right now the salary cap hasn't gone up yet. But once we all agree in this, collective bargaining agreement, then it's gonna go up. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be able to make even more money. You know what I'm saying? Next year. Your contract just went out at the wrong time. If it was coming out next year, you will be in a better position. But Dak has two options. I mean, he could sit out and try to get more money, but I would say you're not losing anything. You're going from 4 to 27. Right? And then you could re-up. You could get even more. But, some people, they don't agree with that.
DC Network, all that kind of stuff. So you remember him from back in his days in college, and you know him. What do you think he will do?
Just having known the guy. And hey, a lot can change, and money changes people. We know that. But in my experiences with Dak Prescott, his personality doesn't reflect the type that would be willing to sit out. That would be willing to play really, really hard ball.
The guy talking right now is Greg McElroy.
I'm telling you, I just don't see him as the type that would say, hey, no. I'm going to actually throw my teammates away. I'm about me. That's who I am now. That's just not his nature, at least in the time that I've seen that.
G-Mac. That wasn't Dak's nature.
Fair enough.
But I don't know if it's not. Remember, the last game of the season, they asked Dak, hey, Dak Prescott, how do you feel about Jason Garrett's expiring contract? He says, quote, I think it's my last game as well, so I'll be damned if I speak on anybody else's future. That's not the Dak Prescott we were accustomed to the first 4 years. Dak is a politician, buttoned up and bow tie on. He's not the guy to give spicy answers. We've seen, like Greeny likes to call it, a spicy Dak.
So and the other thing, I do like to say that, but here's, Greg, I would quibble with, or maybe even quarrel with your description of it. Like, I don't think that holding out and refusing to sign the franchise tag would be throwing away his team.
Right.
We didn't say that about Zeke Elliott when he went down to Cabo. The one hard, fast rule amongst football players, to the best of my knowledge, is you don't talk about my money and I won't talk about yours.
Right.
I think Dak Prescott is well within his rights if he says, you paid all these other guys here. I've done everything the right way. Now you're going to franchise me. I don't think it would be a slap in the face myself to his teammates if he didn't sign.
And I think that's reasonable. But my question to y'all is this. All right, is Dak Prescott a top 5 quarterback in the NFL? I don't think he is.
The answer is no, but I don't think that's really necessarily the way this stuff works.
I agree with you 100%. But the franchise tag might not be the worst thing for Dak. If we're really talking about maximizing value, how many guys have we seen use the franchise tag, bet on themselves, and turn it into what is very lucrative? Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is the best example of this. Of course, franchise tag, we all know the story. And from 2016 to 2019, Kirk Cousins made almost $98 million. That's the fifth most. The fifth most in the NFL in that time frame.
And Manny, if we're going to stay
on the worst outcome.
That's true, but if we're going to stay on some spicy dollars, spicy Dak, let's think about they're already in the $30 million per year on their negotiation with the Cowboys. Franchise tag is around $27 million. If you're Dak, you simply can't go back to that. It worked for Cousins because at the time he wasn't worth what Dak is worth now.
The tag will be the worst thing, Greg. The worst thing that could happen to Dak Prescott. And I say this not just because of...
If players hate the franchise tag, why do they elect to keep it? Why do they elect to keep it if they hate the franchise tag? I don't get it. You have the opportunity right now in the CBA to take it out. I don't want to hear any more complaints about it. Honestly.
Money you're losing, but on the franchise tag, in the event that he gets hurt or has a worse season, because remember, last year he had 1,000 more yards than he's ever had.
Yes.
He had 8 more touchdowns than he ever had. There's no reason to assume that he can redo that season. The franchise tag would be the worst thing that Dak Prescott could do.
Yeah, $27 million is the worst thing you could get after only making $4 million last year. Bro. And then next year, the year after this one, he could potentially make even more money than last year. Then, right? Come on, dogs. Come on, please. I don't believe it. Anyway, hit me up on Twitter. Look up the Draft Nights Pod on Twitter. Hit me up at me. And once again, thank you for listening to the show. This is it for right now. I love you. I thank you for listening. Come at me, find me on Twitter and everything like that. Shoot me a text or something. Shoot me a tweet. Get to me, tell me how much you like the show, everything like that. But I thank you all. I'll see you next time on Draft Night.